Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Brother Timmy, and just wanted to approach y'all with another video, as I have a book full of topics here of things that I desired to speak about. And I wrote this. Look at y'all. I wrote this out a couple months ago, and I really was just moved in the spirit to speak about many things. I'm going to be honest that I fell into many things, and I fell into trials. I fell into certain battles, and it kind of kept me away from the ministry. And in this time apart, I appreciate it because it makes me appreciate that the Most High is even giving me this mantle to do this. So I desire to really bring you the truth, to bring you revelation that's been brought forth to my attention, and to just share these things with you in hopes that they can be edifying, they can build you up, it can encourage you, or it can just make you be put on notice about some of the things that many people of the Most High are perceiving in the spirit. So I just want to get down to it, and I got a bunch of topics, like I said, and I was thinking of two of these to really speak about. So I might choose both of them and just choose one and then the other. But so one of these is singles ministry keeps single people single. And see, now when we talk about this thing, because this is a sensitive topic, right? Many people make marriage a taboo thing, or they make speaking about connecting with a woman or a man of the opposite sex, somebody of the opposite sex, they make it so taboo. They mysticize it, and they over fantasize it and over spiritualize these things that could be simple. A man and a woman like each other, they get to know one another, courtship, bam, marriage. And it's that simple. It should be, at least. But what ends up happening is we get many forms of counsel from many singles. The problem that I see is that there are too many singles ministering to the singles. That's the biggest issue that we have in these singles ministries. These are single people ministering to single people. What do you think the results are gonna be? And then the people that are married, they really don't care about, like in many ministries, they forsake the singles. Like, when they married, we in our lives, and we this and we that. And of course, when you're in a marriage, the union is the most important thing. But I mean, in a local assembling, a local gathering, whatever church you go to, or whatever camp, or whatever you call, or whatever title you go by, whatever you're attending, they should be equipping you for marriage. In order to be equipped for marriage, you need healthy marriages. I don't mean somebody that's been married 2 years. I don't even think 5 years. I'm going to be honest with you. We need people that has been married for 10 plus. If you made it past the 7-year mark, then yeah, that's it. But there's too many people that are young in their marriages, starting marriage ministries, but they're not even speaking to the issue of the single person. They're just trying to just give marriage advice in their young marriage, and thinking that marriage advice to all these single people is going to work. It's not. Those things in marriage has to be developed prior to marriage. This is something that these married people aren't really speaking to. They're not speaking to the heart issues. They're not speaking to the mindsets. They're not speaking to the lust. They're not speaking to the I want my own thing. They're not speaking to the, hey, maybe I need counsel. Maybe I need leadership and guidance, while I'm sitting here trying to tell people about their marriages. Singles ministries. There are ministries catered to single people. Just think of the name singles ministry. You are claiming singleness. Now, singleness, it ain't an evil, wicked thing. It ain't and many people will say, yeah, man, you see what Paul said, and they're quoting Paul out of context. Well, if you had the gift of singleness, that's one thing. All of us don't have the gift of singleness. If you already have did to do, then you don't have the gift of singleness. None of us have the gift of singleness if we already have children. No, we don't. Can the Most High call somebody to singleness? I believe so. I believe so. And when I say singleness, I don't just mean being single. And just no, when I say a life of singleness, that means a life wholly devoted to the Most High. Supernatural grace is placed in that person, so they don't desire no man or woman for the rest of their life. How many of you are like that? No, be honest with yourself first and foremost, because the moment we can admit that, then the moment that we can admit that we are humans, and that when we get around a woman that we are feeling, that we feel feelings. And if they don't mutually feel that because they're over spiritualizing and mysticizing the idea of marriage, or some people even idolize marriage because it seems like so far out of reach, so much that it feels like a God. Because the Most High, even though he's close to us and near to us, we can't see him. It is like he's out of reach in the heavenlies, and think of that. We can't reach the throne where he is, but his grace comes down. His spirit comes down. He leads us and he guides us, and he's always close to us. That's one thing we have to trust. We have to stop over spiritualizing things. When two people meet each other and they like each other, and everybody else are coming around with their counsel, speaking against it like, hey, it's not time, or it's not this, it's not that. When these two people are right for each other, that y'all keep forcing friend zones and y'all keep making it awkward for the opposite sex to even get together to just even have regular conversation. Too many people are over spiritualizing or making it with legalistic rules and regulations to keep people and to squander the spirit in people, because the spirit can operate with a man or woman. I'm telling you, a man and a woman that are meant for each other, the Holy Spirit will operate in both of them. And they will know what to do. They will know how to carry it out. And if they have the right counsel to guide them in the relationship, instead of trying to speak against the relationship and say, hey, maybe you need this. Maybe you need more discipleship. Maybe you need this. Maybe you need that. What if they don't need that? Or what? Not to say they don't need that. We all need to grow. We all need discipleship. We all need the word. We all need prayer. But what if it's meant? What if it's meant for that person to help with that thing like that you're trying to grow in? Rather, it's your finances. Sometimes we just think, oh, I got to be all the way there with my money. The people will tell you this. I got to be all the way there, instead of being where I'm at and meeting somebody where I'm at and trusting the Most High that if this is a man that is working towards something, he has ideas, he has potential and all this, and a woman comes into his life and he's not all the way there, that woman is supposed to be the favor. It said that he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Most High. So this is the woman that comes wrapped with the favor to assist in helping that man. And sometimes it takes that woman just entering into that man's life that can do something miraculous. I'm just telling y'all, when stuff just starts happening, it's just like these spirits of just singleness that just comes upon. Like, there is a spirit of singleness that keeps people single. And deferred hope makes the heart sick. And some people will have so much of a deferred hope because it seems so hopeless, because they're not taught or led correctly, that people get into fornication because they are still burning with desire, but they're trying to live a false righteousness, a false holiness. You know, like, where outwardly they're trying to appear a certain way, but inwardly they deal with demons. They deal with lustful demons. They deal with these things because they're holding themselves back from human expression and human emotion. And because it seems such like a taboo that people don't even speak about their issues. They don't have brothers and sisters praying over each other about our issues and lust and stuff like that. And if lust isn't dealt with, and there's an increase in lust, especially in America, especially in the American church, and wondering why all these half-naked women are in these churches, and why there's barely any marriages in these churches, or even the marriages that are in the churches is very few, and they do not pour into the younger people. They don't care. They have forsaken the next generation of marriages. And so now these young people out here just trying to figure it out themselves, because there's no specific thing that tells us how to go about getting with your husband or wife. We just know by the Spirit who our husbands and wives are. And sometimes the enemy will use churches and congregations, singles ministries. I'm telling you, these singles ministries are more demonic than you think. It's to keep people away from each other. Men and women are made for each other. If we're talking about a singles ministry, we should we should be able to, there should be a marriage ministry and family ministry for the singles. There needs to be an overall thing that can speak to the different levels of marriage, that can speak to people that are in courtship, to speak to people that are interested, so they can be equipped with the tools that is needed to navigate themselves properly. Because a man and a woman is going to feel each other if they're around each other enough. By the Spirit. I'm saying by the Spirit. There's so many churches that have messed up godly marriages because of these singles ministries or because of these women's ministries. I'm telling you, women's ministry is another big problem. that these women's ministries, this is keeping y'all women unmarried and single for the rest of your lives, especially like, and it's women that comes into this faith, they got children, and they coming in with children, they coming in with just a past, an extensive past, and they're using this church stuff to run away from that instead of being accountable for, and instead of really diving into the scriptures and learning the characteristics of a wife, that the word submit comes up. I'm talking about these women that be going to these women conferences and all that stuff and these women ministries. I'm telling you, let the word submit come up and watch all their hearts. Watch their hearts for the Most High. I'm just telling you, the word submit is a derogatory term to women in the faith. And then these men are so docile and so weak because these men are following after they women that are in these women's ministries. Female pastors, and men are behind female pastors that's going to spew feelings and emotionalism and not the word and not the unadulterated word that a man of God will preach. And I'm not saying women of God can't preach. I'm just saying usurping authority over a local assembling or gathering. I'm telling you, that hinders the men in your church. The men are weak. If I feel like every man that is under a church with a female pastor with no head, I'm telling you, run as far away as possible. I'm telling you, these women are only marrying weak men. If you are a strong man in the scriptures, you won't even be in them churches. You wouldn't even be a part of these ministries. I'm telling you, because sometimes we just don't want to talk about the hard things. And that's the problem. And this is why so many people are single. This is why the marriage statistics in the church is the same as in the world. Because everybody doing everything by the world. We are learning our dating wisdom by the world. We're not even led in the spirit in our dating in the faith. And I'm just saying, I don't even believe in the concept of dating, where you go into this person, then to that person, then to the next person, then to the next person. Now, how are you going to even be able to lock down one person if you got all 5, 6 of these people on your mind? And even if we in the faith, we got to get out of that. And sometimes it's like we have somebody good right there, but now we're looking for the next thing and for the next thing. And I see that in a lot of women in the faith. And I see that in a lot of men, the lustful men, that they'll have a good woman there, but maybe her body doesn't look like this one. And this woman, this is a Christian woman, but her body is out. She's alluring men into her circumference. And this is attracting these men. So it'd be a woman modest and covered, and her body might not be as crazy or as anything like that. You know, she might not even look like a lot of these other supermodels and all this stuff. But I'm telling you that these women are leading people astray. I'm telling you that these women, if they don't repent and change their ways and change the way they dress and change the way they conduct themselves, they going straight to the pit. I'm telling y'all, man, we will be judged by how we stumble each other. The men in the thirst traps, and all these women are going after these thirst traps and these instrumentalists and all these. I'm just saying, we got to get out of this single-mindedness and start understanding that it takes more than one person. The Most High tells us to be fruitful and multiply. How can we be fruitful and multiply with people that don't even want to be fruitful and multiply? They don't believe in being fruitful and multiply. Because we want to follow worldly success, that we want to limit ourselves. I just want to have one child. I just want to have 2 children. Like, what faith is that? I'm telling you, these singles ministry and these women's ministries are messing everything up. I feel like what's a true blessing is true men's ministry. And I'm only saying this because it's important for us men to build each other up. Because when we build each other up, we're building each other to be better husbands, to be better fathers, to be better leaders, equipped for we as men that can follow our head in Christ, Yahushua HaMashiach, as we can be those men. But we don't see that in a lot of these women's ministries. We don't. You could tell me like, hey, I found one or I seen one, but how many? How many? How many? Because there's lots of ministries too that focuses on, hey, we should wear head wraps and we should wear our fringes and we should wear, but what about the heart posture? Because a lot of that is the same too. I'm just telling y'all, we make this about a fashion. Yeah, we get on the Israelites too. Our sister turned it into a fashion thing instead of the heart posture. So it's so much more. The brothers that are oppressive with the scriptures. That are oppressive with the scriptures. and wondering why these women do not want to even look in a direction of an Israelite man. So when I even call myself an Israelite, there's so much negative connotation and so much oppression over our community with this, that we not get married like we should. But I see lots of Israelite couples that paints that picture of Christ loving the church and laying his life down. I see that in Israelites, so many Israelites. So I'm not saying all, because there's so many of us that are actually in godly covenants, and I've seen it, and I witnessed it, and I just love to just see what the Most High is doing. And we really need to strive to a deeper level of holiness, y'all. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day, holiness. So when you're striving to be holy, that woman that's meant for you as a man, if you lead in that woman will come right beside you. She will find a way to you, or you will find your way to her in some way, shape, fashion, or form. The Father will do something. I'm saying he will stir things up. He will move things. He will move mountains just to have you two meet. I'm just telling you that there is somebody for you. Like sometimes we don't want to just like look at, no, you need that hope and that assurance that yes, there is somebody for you. We always think like, no, like why would the Most High put all this out here in the scriptures and just have us all be single? Does that make sense? Like we not really even meant to be alone. We not. This is why most of y'all had sex. This is why most of y'all got busy. This is why we have so many children out of wedlock, because we don't have the gift of singleness. Yet we trying to push this Paul doctrine on people and trying to push this like, oh yeah, Paul could do it. Like, no, I ain't Paul. Yes, should we be patient? But we should have that hope that yes, one day it ain't wrong to desire a wife. The Most High give us a righteous desire for a husband and wife. It's just up to us and what we're going to do with those desires. Are we going to put our faith in him and continue to move forward in faith in our purpose and trust that his plans will come into fruition in his perfect divine timing? Or are we going to take it into our own hands, try to meet up with this woman and this man, Netflix and chill, just to fornicate, just to hold ourselves back even more years, just to push back the time of when I'm going to meet my husband and my wife? And I believe the Most High can redeem all the time that was lost. So if you ever wasted your time, I urge you right now just to pray about these things. Like the Most High wants us to be married. I believe that. If we in this faith, if we live in upright and righteously, if you are a woman with feminine qualities, and if you are a man with masculine qualities, he wants to bring us together. It's really that simple. And we make it so hard, especially the Western world, which have destroyed and decimated the concept of marriage, which comes from the Most High. We destroyed it. We destroyed it here. So now it's crept into the church. Worldliness is crept into the church. Lust is crept into the church. The worldly seduction has crept into the church. You wonder why these churches that have half-naked women all throughout the church, wonder why marriages ain't happening. There's a curse upon your church if you have this. And a man of God is not going to speak against this lustful spirit, because it's the spirit of lust that moves women to go out into the world the way that they do it. It's the spirit of lust that does it. So I just hope that you can walk in the light. I hope that you can walk upright. Yeah, and for the men, it says that this woman is rare. She's not common. So if you see a woman that looks like everybody else, she's common. This woman is rare like rubies. As long as you can acknowledge that, then you're good. And for the women, there are a lot more good men than good women. And that's a sad statement to make. In the Western world, there are more good men than good women. You better grab you one if you see one, if you notice one, or else you're just going to be a physical tool to be used by a smaller percentage of men that are sleeping with the larger percentage of women. Don't tell me none of that, because I'm telling you, there are more quality men than quality women in this country right now. So you as a man, if you find somebody of quality that is modest, that is meek, that is gentle, that has nurturing qualities, that has qualities of a wife and a mother. And you can look at scripture and you can see it, and it lines up, and she has a heart towards you. I'm telling you, she has a heart towards the Most High, a love for the Most High, a prayer life, a word life. I'm telling you, that's something that you want to go for. Not a woman that just hops on TikTok with her chest out, her breast out. A woman that hops on Instagram and she modesty journey and stuff like that, but she not really modest. I'm just telling you. Because yes, modesty should not be a journey. Throw it all away. That's a sign. But I really love y'all so much. I just hope that people understand my heart in this. And how passionate I am about marriage, about families. And even though I'm not in a marriage, I'm single. And as a single, I'm talking to you as a single. Get advice from married people that's been married, I will preferably say 10 plus years. If you know people that's been married 2 years, 3 years, then that's better than no years. But I'm telling you, seek out wisdom from people that has been married for 10 plus years. If you know somebody that's been married 30 years, sit down with them and just glean wisdom. Glean wisdom. Especially if you know that somebody was saved and then got married. Because that's one of the most important things. Like, I realized for myself as well, like, when I'm listening to certain advice, I have to understand the perspective of how they got married, how they've been brought together. This is great marriage advice. But what about the process leading to marriage? Because some people fornicated, they had children prior, and this and that, and they got married in the world, and then they became saved. So you have to understand, like, you know, it's so many different testimonies that you can glean from. But I say, if you could find somebody that's been saved and got married, I'm telling you, that's somebody that you want to, like, be under. Like, they've been married 30 years and they were saved. Like, that's somebody you want to be under and listen to. But I hope that this video blesses you genuinely, and may you, with the love of the Most High, may you be open to receive whatever blessing that He has for you. And I'm just praying with you. I'm praying for you for godly marriages, because I know a lot of us are yearning that and desiring that. But of course, we need to do so in the right manner. You are not wrong for wanting a wife or a husband, or for desiring. The Most High has given us the desires of our hearts, not the thing. He gives us the literal desire. He's given us a desire for marriage righteously. And I believe that, like, we don't have to over spiritualize and say, well, I shouldn't even be thinking about this. I'm in the flesh because I'm thinking about marriage. You're like, no. You meet a woman and you start to like her, and you say, I'm in the flesh because I'm starting to like her and develop feelings. No, you are a human. And sometimes we gotta stop. We gotta just stop making stuff taboo. We humans, y'all. Yeah, we live by the spirit, not by sight and all that, but we are humans and we feel. And this is the wrong idea that we get. And this is the wrong idea that I had. And when I got this, it just made me feel better. It made me more content that even if